Welcome to the chain. This is the BCC Club. My name is Kendahl and Sarah.
And I'm Sarah Shower. And each week we like to dive down an internet rabbit hole. And what are we talking about this week?
We're talking about color matching.
Mm-hmm. Color matching, if you've seen it on TikTok, it's where people they get their color palette for the season they're in. We have talked about it briefly in the past, where I suspect that Kendahl is a warm spring and I am a cool summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's kind of like what the clothes you're supposed to wear. I mean, obviously you can wear whatever you want, but it's, sometimes, you put on a color, and I think people used to just be like, that's not your color, honey.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, but why is this not my color? Because sometimes it's not the color. Like if someone's like, you look bad in blue, it's not the color blue. It's like the tone of blue. So maybe a dark blue would look good on you, but a warm, you know what I mean, would look good on you. So it's just a really specific thing that makes people fill their closet with a bunch of clothes that look incredible on them.
Yeah, it's like how many, I've seen so many old CoverGirl ads where it's they have a little palette for people with blue eyes or green eyes. The same thing applies with the undertone of your skin, where you can wear literally anything.
Yeah.
It's just a way to brighten your features so people are looking at all of you as opposed to the shirt or your face, and maybe there's redness,
Yeah, and I feel like I really want to go get color matched because I wear black so much, and I don't think I look good in it. And not even a mean thing to myself. I look fine. I just think it does not do anything for me, I feel like.
Yeah.
But anytime I wear a color, anytime I've been on a red carpet and I've worn a pop of color, and then I look back at the photos later, I'm like, I wish I just worn black because this looks bad. So I think it's scary to know, whenever I try to do color, it feels so overwhelming to be like, what color? And I remember when I was a little girl, someone told me in middle school, if you have green eyes, which I do, if you have green eyes, you should wear purple because that brings out green.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I feel still as an adult, I'm like, I'm supposed to wear purple. But sometimes I'll wear purple and I'll be like, this looks bad on me objectively. So I think I need to find the shade of purple.
I'm looking at your shirt right now, and there are tones of purple, and it is a warmer purple. Does
this look good on me?
Yes, it does. I like that shirt a lot, guys. It's very gay, and it's very colorful. The thing is also the green is very warm. The blue is very warm. Well, yeah, but it's very warm tone, and I think that that's the palette that you should be drawn towards.
Okay. I'm going to only wear these 3 colors. That's really how I will be. I'll be like, if one thing looks good on me, I will buy it a million of them.
Yeah. Crap, what was I thinking? Wait, no, what were you just saying?
I was saying that I get scared to wear colors because I don't know the type of color. If I go on a red carpet, I feel like.
This is a gray, and it's it's the gray that's in the cool summer palette, and I feel like every time I wear this shirt, I get a lot of weird, it's a normal shirt, it's my friend's merch, but speaking of merch, but also I only have nails on one hand. I put nails on one hand and then I fell asleep and then I was too lazy to do the rest.
What? That sentence was the most ADHD thing I've ever heard. You said,
oh, sorry.
I was obsessed. You went, how did you even start it? You said, you were talking about color matching, then you went, speaking of merch, by the way, my nails, there's only half of them. You just missed the merch thing altogether.
I did. I'm sorry. I was noticing things about myself, and I wanted to get to the hand thing before people who are watching are what's happening. But okay, yeah. So this is my friend's merch, and so it's a cool gray, and that's what as opposed to black, what I quote unquote should be wearing. But
you should be.
Well, not should. Yeah, if this is how you said black, you feel is it your best, dark tone?
It's not my best, but it's not my worst.
Yeah, I think black is very universal, but this is the version of black, a gray that's cool that fits me best.
Yeah, and it looks really good on you. I feel like that color doesn't look good on me because I have one shirt in that color, and I feel like I feel good in it, but then when I look at photos, I'm like, it doesn't look bad. It's not like I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's the worst I've ever seen, but it just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I'll wear a shirt, I did this show, this Verizon commercial.
Yeah.
And they put me in this bright blue shirt.
Uh-huh.
And I remember going to take a selfie, and I was like, God damn, I look incredible in this color blue. And I think it was the first time I was like, wow, tones really matter because I wear blue all the time. It's not that I looked bad before, but it was when I saw photos in this shirt, I was like, it really my eyes are popping. My hair looks so great. Everything is just 10 times. I don't feel like my eyes really look I don't think people look at me and they're like, wow, her eyes are so green. But in this
Mm-hmm.
shirt, it did. So then I bought like 4 shirts in that color blue.
Yeah.
But I have not moved past learning about color matching besides that. So it's just that color blue.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you can when you get color match, like you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You could like find your palette and like all tones of blue that suit you. What
Yeah.
I was gonna say about the merch thing is like,
Speaking of merch.
if I was gonna propose anything to any influencers making merch, I would propose, you know how you have like your basics, like white and black shirts? I would, since most people there's 4 seasons of like color range.
Yeah.
Do like, if you're going to choose like a color, like do a winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Oh, cool.
So that way, like, if someone's like, I want to do like a shirt color, but I don't know which one, like, if they've done color matching, that way it's like you wear the merch and you look your best.
You know. So then you
Yeah.
wear it all the time.
Yeah, so that's why I would propose.
That's an incredible idea.
Yeah.
Before we get fully into the online world of color matching, how was your week?
It was really good. I oh my gosh, the other day on Instacart, I ordered ginger beer.
Okay.
And it was a dude, and they replaced it without asking me with Guinness.
That's insane.
And I was like, I like messaged them. I was like, whoa there, I don't drink. And also Guinness? And they were like, well, I can't see it. I was like, go to the mixers. And they were like, oh, thank you. You helped me a lot. And then I was like, yeah, but then also.
So you didn't end up receiving it?
No, but I was like, can you, like, I was trying to do the mental gymnastics of how they got from ginger beer to Guinness. They were like, okay, so Guinness is from Ireland, and those people are ginger. So this is beers for gingers. And I was like, the idea of me relapsing and the drink that I do it with is Guinness. Like the worst drink there. And I'm sorry if you like Guinness, but it's awful.
Also, is there a huge price difference, or am I wrong? I don't really know
I
the
didn't
price
see.
of Guinness.
I was more
But it
caught up
feels
by
like
the Guinness.
It feels like real alcohol would be more expensive than like just like soda.
Yeah, I actually don't know because ginger beer I feel like is not too common.
And Guinness is pretty cheap, right?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't drink. Well, what is Guinness?
Guinness
Whiskey?
is like it's a very, very malty like dark beer.
Oh.
It's very thick. Try shotgunning it and it'll give you like a heart attack. But what else? Oh my gosh, what did Naomi say the other day that was funny? Oh, someone broke into Naomi's car.
What? No.
Yeah, they broke the window and
Oh no.
the guy from upstairs, he lives like right above like the parking area, and he came down and he was like, yeah, I heard someone like banging and I thought it was like something weird. So we like walked down and there was just this massive hole in Naomi's car window, and I was like, you've had the car for a couple weeks. But thankfully we got one of those people who like came out and replaced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary though. It always feels weird to have someone, I don't know, violate your stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is like they have a 2012 Dodge Avenger and all the other cars were like Teslas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I imagine the criminal was like, I know that this car doesn't have any security system,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go for it. But what was really nice about the guy who was parked next to me is he had a Tesla and he was like, I have a security system that comes with a camera, like a motion sensor.
Of course he does.
And so he's like, I'm going to turn it on for the entire day to see if the guy comes back. And I was like, thank you so much.
That is nice.
And
why would he come back? Is that a thing people do? I know with murders, it's like they want to come back to see. They're like if they murder someone, they'll come back because they like the thrill of it or something.
Oh, yeah.
But is it like that with car robberies as well?
I mean, I don't know. Like, it was like the car didn't move and they were trying to break into it. So I assume, like, if you're desperate for a car, that's probably the cheapest car you could go for.
Oh, I guess that's true, to steal the car. I was just thinking of taking stuff. My mom, when I was younger, she used to, and don't try to break into our car now because she locks it. I force her to.
Uh-huh.
But when I was younger, I remember she never locked her car, ever. Never locked her car.
Yeah.
And she was always like, well, if someone wants to steal something, they can take my stuff but not break my window. They'll just open the door.
Yeah.
And I was young, but if I remember correctly, one time that did happen.
Yeah.
And it was nice that it was like, well, they took all our stuff, but the car looks fine.
Yeah.
Although debatably, I don't know if they would have taken anything if the car was locked. But I always think about that, where if they just open the door, nothing gets too damaged.
My ex-boyfriend in college, his roommate, his car didn't like run, but it was like in the driveway and like it didn't lock. Homeless people would sleep in it all the time.
Oh my God.
But the thing is he had come to terms with it. He was like, you know what?
Yeah, that's nice. It's
I
not being
can't.
used.
Yeah, but like, yeah. So,
Man,
how was your week?
it was good. I do have a little something for you.
What?
This is crazy because I got this months ago and have just forgotten it every single time we've recorded. But when I was in Japan, I got you a little treat that I want to give it to you.
Oh my God, guys. Oh my God.
Okay. Here you go. It's from it's actually from Taiwan, but it's
a little soup set, but it's like it's okay, so this is not the Lego brand.
It's not Lego brand. It's not.
Oh, I love this.
But it's
Thank
a tiny
you.
little ramen
yeah.
soup of some sort.
Oh, I love this so much.
Of course.
And thankfully I only have my left hand has nails on, so I can do this. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I've seen these like online, but whenever I like go to purchase them, I feel like I'm betraying Lego.
Well, and so I've betrayed them
for me.
You.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So if you want to be nice, Lego, you can throw it in the trash. It's okay. I won't be
would
offended,
never do that. No, when I invite people over to like do Legos with me and they like leave with Legos, I'm like, you can also just like throw it outside. But like, just because I don't know why, I assume that my friends are evil. That I'm like, they like hated this time so much with me that they would just immediately step outside and throw it on the ground.
That was like the other day I went out to dinner with like my partner and I went out to dinner with another couple.
Uh-huh.
And I was carrying this tote bag that I actually have with me today. I got it from a work event. It just says Bradenton, Florida on it.
Yeah.
And but I got two because anytime my partner and I go to an event, it's very nice because we always get two little swag bags, but it's also kind of like we don't want two swag bags because it's all filled with like, a water bottle with a brand name. So we have just like two of everything with all whatever. But I got this, so we got two of these bags and I was carrying one as a purse out to dinner. My friend was like, I really love that tote bag so much. And Jordan was like, you can have it because we have two.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, no, I don't want to take your bag. And Jordan was like, no, we have two actually. You should take it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, for 2 days after that, I was so anxious. We gave it to her. I was so anxious that she, after we left, was like, I was lying that I liked that bag and now I have it and I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I was like so scared, which is crazy because it's like not a big deal. If she didn't want it, she could just get rid of it. And it's so small. It's not like I gave her a couch.
Yeah.
But I was just like, she hates that and she hates me and she wishes the tote was not with her.
Oh yeah. I that's so crazy that our minds like go to that place. Cause like the only thing I would be genuinely furious that a friend gave me is like a pet. Like if I wasn't expecting it, but like if you give me like a candle or a sweater, even if the sweater doesn't fit, I'm like, oh, I love it. I love it. Dopey's so wearing much. It,
But no, when you've ever given me Legos after I've left your house, I've used them.
Good.
I love doing Legos. It's so fun.
Okay, good. Because I love when people love Legos.
It's fun. It's just like relaxing.
Wait, oh, yeah, I did ask you how your week went.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say. I just said it was good. I'm trying to think what I did. I have continued my reading kick. Mm-hmm. Still reading.
Good.
And oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, my memory is so bad. Let me look at my calendar.
You're good. I only had half my normal Vyvanse dose today, so I'm really at a weird place right now.
Only half? Why?
I felt, I don't know. I just, usually I just pop one in my mouth, as you do with medication, but I kind of just like cracked it in half and I was like, let's see, go halfsies. I don't know.
And it didn't go well? You're not liking it?
Well, no, it went well. I just like, when your brain needs a little bit of a break, but you still got to work.
What dose is it? That's too personal, probably.
It's
you don't
not.
Have to
No. It's 50 milligrams.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll try half of it, but now I'm like a little bit not on my A game. I'm like, my brain is going in. When it's just branching away from everything that you're thinking.
You're doing great.
I'm doing it.
Doing good.
Yeah.
I remembered one thing I did this week is I went to a baby shower.
Oh,
and it was crazy because I am not used to, like, I have a couple friends who have kids.
Yeah.
But it's not common. I feel like no one has kids. I don't know, living in LA, I'm like, especially being gay, like my gay friend, nobody has kids. I don't see kids ever. And I went to this baby shower of a close friend of mine, and literally 90% of people that came had a baby with them, and I felt crazy. I was like, am I supposed to have a baby?
Yeah.
I felt like I've just never been, because also people always, whenever someone's like, oh, do you want to have kids? I always been like, I don't know, because I'm too young to know. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I just feel like I will change. It feels so impossible to know.
Yeah.
If for people who know they don't want to have kids, obviously they know. I'm not saying they will change their mind. For me, I'm like, it feels like there's no way to tell how that would feel, because it's also no one around me has kids. So the thought of having a kid feels so insane.
Yeah.
But when you're surrounded, when every person around you is a kid, it doesn't feel that crazy. You're like, oh, I guess I could have a kid, I guess. So it's just very funny because my partner and I left being like, should we have a kid? Are we supposed to have a kid? I don't know. It just felt weird. Usually there's one person who has a kid and everyone's like, man, glad I'm not them.
Yeah.
But when literally we were like the only people at that party who didn't have a kid, we were like, we look like idiots.
Oh, yeah. What? Normally I don't have kids in my house, but like Naomi has started to tutor saxophone.
Right.
And so they come over.
How old are they?
Well, they're in like high school, but they're kids to me, you know? And so like, I'm not used to like, oh, sorry, let me, like, it's a young person, you know? Yeah. It's crazy. But also, I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids. But the thing is my last name is too perfect to not have kids, because I'd have a baby shower.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, I told him.
You could do it for a reborn doll.
That's true.
I'd show up.
But I also told my brother's wife, I was like, you better do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, please, I don't know if Hannah and I will do it. Like, you've got to be the one who does this. I
don't. Oh my God, what was I just going to say? What did you say just before that?
Well, I don't usually have kids in my house.
Oh, it's just very funny, the thought to me of like a 16-year-old being in your house and you being like, should I have a baby? And him being like, I don't know. I'm almost an adult. Get away from me.
Dude, when I think about being when I was 16, that was 13 years ago.
That's wild.
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm so bad with kids in a way that's really embarrassing. And Jordan always tells me, they're like, because kids love Jordan because Jordan doesn't care about kids at all. So they're just like, don't want to talk to them or interact with them. And I am like squatted down being like, what's your favorite animal? And they're like, get the fuck away from me. And they're like trying to climb in Jordan's lap, and it's so embarrassing.
No, that's me with cats. Like,
oh yeah.
I know that the more you crowd them, the less they want to be around you.
Yeah.
You just got to sit on the couch and they'll come.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wild. So I don't know. Do you think I should have a kid?
No, not it. I think your career is just going on the up, and as well as Jordan's, and I feel like this would be a really big bad time. I love that you're getting married though.
Thank you. What would you do if I came one day and you're like, how's your week? And I was like, I adopted a baby. I have a baby.
It would be one of those moments where like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like hearing a friend getting back with their ex. You're like, well, I'm going to support you.
Yeah.
But also like, but the thing is, it's your life.
I don't think it's also, I've said this before, but it's impossible I think that if I didn't live in the time of the internet, I would never have a child, and I would not even think about it or care.
Yeah.
But it's so hard if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna have a child every day, like a video of the cutest baby on planet Earth is being shoved in your face constantly. My baby would not be like any of these cute babies on the internet. Mine would be probably a nightmare, and probably not, it would be like me as a kid, which was not, it was a nightmare. Mm-hmm. But you're just constantly fed mom stuff and women being like, I love being a mom. And it's like, that's not normal. I'm not supposed to intake all this. I'm supposed to be like, I don't want to have a kid and then never see children or parents ever. Yeah. So I don't know. It's confusing.
Yeah. I think the baby part is not if I would adopt them, I want them when they're past the baby stage.
Me too.
They're cute, but I can't. I'm too easily overstimulated. And I do think a sassy 5-year-old is so funny.
That's the only, yes, that is the only thing. Like, I never, like, when I see someone with a baby, I'm like, thank God that's not me. Like, I genuinely am like, thank God. And I love to hold a baby. But I've seen, when I like watch a parent at Disney, like trying to eat their food and then also like bouncing a baby as they're walking around and like I'm like, no, I can't. That's not for me. But ever so often I'll see like a 9-year-old walking with their parents, and I'm like, oh, that is nice. That's fun. Which everyone I think usually is like, that's the worst fucking age. I'm like, that's so fun. That's just like a mini friend. Like, that's a mini person that you can be like, don't do that, or that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, that feels like so fun, and they can share their opinions, and you can like teach them about stuff and take them places and play games. I don't know. That feels fun to me.
Yeah, like whenever I see like a little kid, like a youngish kid, like they're always so honest, almost to like a fault. They're like, yeah, my mom's like wearing a wig right now. And I saw her in her big panties. And if I was given that opportunity, I'd lean into that so hard. Everyone's like, oh, no, stop. Don't tell them that. I would be like, yeah, they saw my big panties. Oh, my gosh, we're 20 minutes in.
Sorry. Okay, color. Okay, wait, I'll make a really good transition. Well.
Yes.
Children
are
wearing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're talking about color matching.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the origins of color matching, which first gained its popularity in the 1980s thanks to best-selling book Color Me Beautiful by Carol Jackson. The practice involves assigning someone a season based on whether a selection of color swatches makes them look bright or washed out. Wait a second. There's something Mormon happening here. Is Carol Jackson a Mormon? I've heard of that name before. 1 second. I know she is.
You know Sarah. Sarah knows every name of every Mormon.
No,
you're not getting by her.
No, there's something Mormon afoot. Wait, Mormon.
Mormon Carol Jackson. It's also such a common name as well.
I think there's something very religious. All right, so by holding up fabric colors in different shades around the face, the draping process, so like in the color matching process, they have like, you know, little pieces they look like napkins of fabric, and then you hold it up underneath your chin, and then, you know, you get to see how that color like interacts with your skin tone, and then you go on to the next one, and it's just to see if you're like cool or warm toned.
Also, I'm different strokes for different folks, but maybe it's just because I read only lesbian smut, but that sounds like maybe the most boring book I've ever heard of.
Oh yeah, what if there's no pictures?
It's just explaining colors. I have like the thought of reading a book, because I like assume it's more than 100 pages.
Yeah.
Of just talking about accessories and what accessories you should wear based on I'm like, some people I will I was just in a bookstore the other day, and I was like, because I read now, and there's some books you pass by where you're like, who the fuck is reading that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who is reading? That's the most boring topic I've ever heard in my life. And I was sorry.
Meanwhile, it's like literally me.
But truly, no, your books you read are so interesting. I just probably couldn't comprehend them, but they're very interesting. But everyone has these like niche interests, which I think is so fun. But the other day I was reading a book where there was a word, I think I even told you this, I learned a new word, bedfellow.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking it up with my friend Chaz, like, what is a bedfellow, whatever, because he didn't believe me what a bedfellow was. Anyways, we looked it up, and this man has this, like, website where all he talks about is beds from back in the day.
Yeah.
And he is obsessed with them. And he, like, talks about different types of beds and why these beds are, and he just would go on, and he was so passionate about them.
Yeah.
And he was like, and it made me wonder, there's one sentence, I can't remember what it was, but he was kind of like, made me wonder, are the beds from the 1800s similar to the one I might be sitting on now?
Yeah.
And I was like, probably. But I was just like, it's so funny. This man cares so much about this thing. So I'm sure someone read this book, but it just sounds deeply boring.
As you were saying that, I was like, immediately every autistic person came to mind. There is this person, I don't know if they're autistic or not, but on TikTok, they collect the yellow dandelion crayon. And they have like an entire wall of just the yellow crayon. And I love when someone, I have hyperfixations. I love when someone loves something that I'm like, well, how did you get there?
It's so funny. It's like, of all the things, like, this man loves, like the yellow crayon, and this man just loves bed history. There's so much interesting history. And he, like, knows everything about every type of bed there was throughout all the ages. It's so funny. Especially because I feel like beds have stayed deeply similar, but I'm sure he would disagree with me.
Yeah, he's like, you fool.
Of most things, I'm like, a bed has stayed the same. I'm like, a bed is always, you watch old, I'm like, that's still the bed I use.
Yeah.
I guess they were shorter.
Yeah.
But that's not that interesting. I guess people were shorter.
Yeah, and I guess, like, more cramped and harder, and you kind of, like, sweaty and, like, stinky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you hold up different fabric swatches like around your face, and the draping process aims to show how some hues bounce light off the face and others cast shadows around areas like the eyes and chin. This relatively simple formula is currently enjoying a renaissance on TikTok, with hashtag color analysis garnering 749.9 million views and counting after TikTok created color wheel related filters and influencers took it over. It's true. I did one video where I color matched one of my stuffed animals. And it was actually pretty accurate because they had a warm brown shade, and I'm very familiar with like the warmer seasons.
Yeah.
So I just
Did
understood.
you get them an outfit?
I think so, yeah.
I just saw Anna Satar. Do you know Anna Satar?
I've heard of
Went
the name.
to Korea
Okay.
this week and got color matched.
Okay.
She's so rich. It's so funny. She was kind of like, I went to Korea to get color matched. I was like, damn.
Wait, she sounds Polish. Wait 1 second.
Oh my God. She's Mormon and Polish. No, she's not Mormon.
No, she is Polish.
But she probably is. She looks maybe Polish. I don't know.
She is, because I think, wait, if I see a picture of her, I know that she is Polish. We were at VidCon and we were standing in line, and I talked to her briefly, and then Naomi started talking to her mom, who spoke Polish.
Yes.
And so, like, Naomi's like, oh, I don't really meet people who speak Polish.
Oh, that's a sweet interaction.
Okay, so it's become popular on social media. People try out different color palettes digitally, with many going viral. And so there's the different palettes, which are roughly, so there's 4 seasons, guys. There's spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And then each season, spring has it's light and warm. Summer is light and cool. Autumn is deep and warm. And winter is deep and cool. So that's how it goes. Spring is warm, natural features, light to medium, light depth, which I would say Kendahl falls into. Also, if you've seen Kendall's veins, you would agree with me. Summer, cool, natural features, light to me. This is what I was going to say. I don't have it on right now, but I started using a fake tan with a purple base. Most fake tans have a green base, and a green base fake tan is good for someone who's warmer tone. But if you're cool tone, guys, and you want to use a fake tanner, but you don't want to look gross, use like a one with a violet base.
Wait, what am I again? Warm?
You're warm, so you can get away with green.
But if you get tanned, because
Yes.
I've been thinking I get my spray tan.
Uh-huh.
Does my whole color analysis change?
If you get a cool tan,
But if I got a warm one?
No, the thing is that's personal to you because you are warm toned.
I see.
So if you got a warm color spray tan, but like sometimes people will look incredibly orange, because they're literally being spray tanned orange, but like they're cool toned or olive toned or neutral, and they're going too warm for them, and so it looks kind of odd.
Odd, yeah.
So violet undertone, I'm blanking on the brand. I think it's called Bondi Sands. Don't quote me. But yeah, so Jake included some photos of that we can't. It's not that we can't. They're like not vulgar. It's just we literally can't show them to you. How much does it cost, Kendahl?
Okay, a professional color analysis charges $200 to $300 per 90-minute session. The thought of doing that for 90 minutes is maybe the worst thing I've ever.
Well, they got to
about.
go through all the seasons.
That sounds so boring. I watched Anna Satar get this color match.
Yeah.
And I was like, it is so, look up this video of her getting color matched. It is so, like, how do these women do this? It's so confusing. They're like, just so fast with the colors moving around. And I'm like, how can they tell? Every one of them also, because it's just a piece of fabric. To me, they all look bad. Not on her. Like, she looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
But they all look like she's holding up a piece of fabric. So I'm like, I can't tell what looks good.
Yeah.
And then ever so often they'll stop on one and they'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like cannot understand why. But doing that for 90 minutes, that is insane.
Well, they do go through all the seasons, and then they also do like whites and blacks. So for the white selection, they usually have like off-white, eggshell, pure white, I guess, like absence of color. And then for blacks, it's like all the way into grays. So you know which of those. And then they also pair you with like, are you a gold or silver person?
I've always thought about, because I'm engaged, I've always thought about like my wedding day, how like, which we're just, I think, gonna elope, but I'm still gonna wear either a suit or a dress. I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's like you gotta wear white on your wedding day, I guess. But I am like, I look horrible in white, I'm pretty sure. And I always think, I'm like, that sucks for some people who look so good in white. And then some people where it's like, you would never wear white in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But now you have to wear white on the, like, where you really care about the way you look on a day that feels really important. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say you would look horrible in white, but most wedding dresses are like an ivory or like a cool toned white. So you're like, I don't look good in that. You are a warm tone.
Right.
So like if you had like a, what's the off? It's like an off-white sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like not tan, but it's like, champagne-y.
Right.
Actually, champagne is,
Let me search wedding dress for warm tones.
yeah.
Maybe they have a thing already. It's just different colored dresses. Like this person's wearing an olive green dress, which I think would look incredible on me.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm like, I don't know. Especially because Jordan and I were talking about this the other day, but it's like when it comes to weddings, it's like, I think for a lot of people it's really exciting because there's not often in your life that you get to dress up really fancy and to get your makeup done and whatever. But I feel like we have to do that all the time for work. So that doesn't feel very exciting. So I'm like, I can wear a random dress whenever. So I'm like, I should wear something white, but I just think I would look bad in it.
I don't think you would look bad. I think you need like a, like a vanilla bean sort of color. This is the thing though. I feel like with the whole wedding thing, why it seems to be like a massive, big, important event. I mean, because history and stuff like that. But also, it is the only time really that a lot of straight people really get to dress up.
Yeah.
Like most men who I've heard who are on dating apps, like all the photos are from someone else's wedding, right? Like that's when they've looked their best. But I feel like with gay people or people in entertainment or gay people in entertainment, you dress up a lot more often.
Yeah, it's like when people are like, I'm surprised you don't get into dressing up for Halloween. I love Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday, but I never dress up because I'm like, I dress up as a character 365 days a year.
Yeah.
There's nothing exciting to me about like putting together a costume.
Yeah.
Because I do that for work all the time and it feels like I'm doing work and I would much rather just wear like a spooky sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But I feel like the wedding is the same thing where it's like, yes, some aspects of the wedding excite me, like getting married.
Yeah.
But like, I don't need, but so I guess something would feel special is wearing a wedding dress or suit.
Yeah.
Which feels special. But wearing just a dress in general, so I'm like, I should wear a wedding. But I should have is not welcome in my vocabulary. That's what my therapist is working on me with.
I think I would love, this is going to be very Libra. I think I would love to have a wedding for the gifts and the really pretty photos. Mm-hmm. Ceremony, I don't really, could take it or leave it. But, what was I going to say? You were saying something. What did you just say just now?
I said.
It was like a 30 seconds back.
I was just saying that I don't like dressing up for Halloween.
Yes, my favorite thing about like I have like some mutuals who are like cosplayers and like drag queens, and they don't do anything on Halloween.
Yeah,
it's because it's like that's what they do all year round.
Right.
You're asking them to work on their day off.
Right.
No
way. So some additional info about color matching. The recent online interest is connected to how personal style has become intertwined with our self-identity. But New York City-based psychotherapist Dana Dorfman, PhD, speculates that the resurgence may also be connected to our desire for concrete answers. Humans, despite their curiosity, also don't like uncertainty, and we like things to be neatly wrapped up in a bow. A journalist reached out to Cyan Clark, a personal stylist, to try out a dedicated color analysis session. This session, Cyan explained, aims to be a one-time experience due to the fact that skin undertones never change. In a nutshell, your colors are set for life.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Yeah. The thing that gets hard though is when you get color matched, you should not be wearing any makeup because this is my big thing. The makeup I love is very warm toned, and so like if I color match my foundation, not this one right now, but like the foundation I usually wear, it's gonna be off. Also, if you have your hair dyed, that's gonna be a bit more challenging.
But even with hair color, I'm like, I need someone to tell me what hair color would look good on me because I have dyed my hair. Well, it's weird. I was born a brunette and then all my hair fell out in patches and came back blonde.
Okay.
But that's not an important part of the story.
Your hair fell out?
Yeah, apparently that's common. Like I was born with brown hair.
Uh-huh.
And then in my first, I don't know, my mom can answer this better, but like 6 months, my hair slowly fell out in little patches and came back blonde.
You're like a penguin.
Exactly right. And they did testing to see, and I 25%.
Can't fly.
Cannot fly. But but since I was a little girl, like when I was really little, I had blonde hair, like really blonde hair. And so I've always just like seen myself as blonde, like even though I'm not blonde anymore. Like this is the roots. I don't even remember, but this is like my natural hair color.
Yeah.
Which is like brown. And I had a caricature artist draw me the other day at an event. And he drew me with brown hair. And it was a real like, whoa moment. Because I was like expecting him to give me like light blonde hair, which is insane because I don't have that. But in my head, I do because that's what I was like, always had growing up. And then I started dyeing my hair blonde as it darkened. Yeah. Because I was like, I love being blonde. But now I'm like, I don't even know if that looks good. I'm just like doing it. I don't know if a blonde looks good on me at all. Yeah. But I did one time dye my hair brown, and I can tell like dark brown. That definitely didn't look good. That was the worst thing I've ever done.
Well, you're a spring, in my mind. But yeah, I think there's something interesting about blondes in this country. We have I'm not even blonde, I said we. There's like a weird sort of dysphoria you get when you're blonde. You're like, oh, I'm blonde, and people are like, you're brunette, you know, or like something like that. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like.
No, but that's how I feel. It feels like a personality. Because even as a kid, it's like, oh, she's blonde. Yeah. You know, and the blonde jokes, which I loved because I loved attention. Like, it's like people were like, you're dumb and you're blonde and blah, blah, blah. And people were always just like blonde. Even like they describe, you don't ever look at a child and go, the brown-haired little girl. People always go, the blonde little girl, the blonde. Like blonde was just, it's like how I feel like being a Leo is really a self-fulfilling prophecy because even back when I was a little kid, no one I knew cared about star signs at all like they do now. But somehow being a Leo was still talked about. People, a Leo, she'll be a performer. A Leo, she loves being a performer. And now I do that for a living. So people could be like, see, she's a Leo. She performs. But it's like, I'm pretty sure I was like at a young age, like I meant to be a star because I'm a Leo. Yeah. But the blonde thing is weird because I feel like, I don't know. I just look back, sometimes look at photos. I'm like, the color is not working, but I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. I think you're meant to be a blonde. I think your hair now is great. I think you should be like a warmer blonde. I don't normally have opinions on other people's appearance, but sometimes people should not be blonde. Yeah. And it's mainly because the main blonde that a lot of people, in a specific type of blonde, obviously be blonde, but like I feel like everyone goes for like an ashy blonde, and it kind of
and that's for cool tones, right?
Yeah, it kind of ends up making them look a little bit sick.
That's what I did in high school. I dyed my hair platinum blonde, like platinum.
Yeah.
It was white, like fully white, and it was to the root. There was no blending. It was like fully white, and I looked insane. I looked like, and I loved it, which is so funny. I was obsessed with it. Yeah. And I like got it touched. I did it for like a year. I had this platinum blonde hair. When I look back at photos, I'm like, what was I doing? What was I doing? Yeah. Because I looked like, especially when I out of the shower, like my hair would be slicked back. I looked like I was a child in Grey's Anatomy who like needs to remove their colon or something. It was like really disturbing.
No, I understand that. I haven't dyed my hair in like 2-ish years. Two. But my extensions are a different color and they're warmer tones. So like my hair is cool tone at top and then warmer at the bottom.
That's so interesting. Well, it looks great, but do you purposefully do warm? Because if you're a cool
tone.
No,
this my hair color, they couldn't find extensions that match the exact hair color, so they had to dye it. And so since it's dyed, and so people keep telling me, you need to dye your hair again. I'm like, I didn't dye it. It's my extensions. I need to get them. But yes. Okay. So this is how sessions usually go to color match yourself. The session begins by selecting a color chosen and holding a variety of shade swatches up to your face. This would determine whether the hue harmonized with the skin's undertone by making people look more awake, or it created dullness in or brightness. And so the thing is, it's every artist ever listening to this gets the gist, because we're basically describing color theory and the color wheel. Like we were talking about how you have green eyes, you should use purple eyeshadow, which is true, and that's because they're complementary colors. And so every artist is color matching makes sense because your undertones, I mean, it's like a painting where if you have a bunch of cool, actually I'm gonna do art a disservice. So if it's just to make your color harmonize.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because even I've seen I'm wearing black mascara right now, but in the past, I remember one time I used a brown mascara,
Uh-huh.
which I'd never used. I just never really thought to use it, but I was sent one and I put it on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it ends there. I don't know why it looks better, but I was like, this just looks like it brings out my eyes a little more, I think.
Yeah.
But so it's always just that where I'm like, okay, now I'm going to try to wear brown mascara and wear this blue shirt.
Yeah.
Because I know those I think look good. But if I knew the science behind it, I think it'd really help me out.
I love one of those moments where you find out if you do something, you feel really good, and then you just never do it again. Like, that's like when you go for a walk, you're like, whoa. And then the next few weeks, you're just inside all day.
I know. That is me.
Okay, so this is
24/7.
someone getting their color matched. She says, with no makeup on, it was clear to see that my pale skin's undertones are peachy with some natural redness, which Cyan explained meant the warm colors would work best. Yeah, that's the thing that catches a lot of people. Just because your face has redness doesn't mean that, like, you are a warm undertone, though.
Yeah, I know, because when I was in high school, I had horrible cystic acne all over my face.
That is so hard to believe.
Thank you so much.
Because your skin is, like, so nice.
Thank you. I did Accutane.
Did your lips crack?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It was wild. I would, like, wake up every morning from a bloody nose. My lips were, like, I would hold Aquaphor on my lips. Like, the bottle just constantly squeezed to my lips because within 5 seconds, fully dried again. It was wild. And they would come off. This is so gross. But if I, like, you peel your lips, like, it would, full lip would come off.
Oh,
like a little snake.
Yeah.
Really disturbing. But I mean, I don't want to tell anyone what to do medically, but it was the best decision I've ever made. But it was incredible. And I but I had horrible acne, truly horrible acne. Well, now I've seen TikToks of some people who have really bad acne, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Also, when I look back at photos, it's not as bad as I remember it being. But anyways, it was pretty bad. Mostly it was painful. It was really, really painful, and it just wasn't good. But so when I had acne, I like never wore red or pink or anything because I thought like I had red undertones. Yeah. Which is so funny. But I was told I had red undertones, but really I just had an inflamed face.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Maybe I do have red undertones, but that wasn't what was happening. I like had sores on my face and was bleeding. And people were like, you have red undertones.
No, you have redness, but you have warm undertones. Yeah. So, from there, it was about refining which warm shades look best, what meant detaching my brain from colors you simply like, and instead focusing on what suits you most. I'm going to say this again, guys. You can wear whatever you like, but this is what, suits you most. I'm going to, so many users on TikTok say they've completely changed their whole wardrobe entirely on, what this TikTok filter tells them, the one that color matches you. There's about 10,000 TikToks with nearly this exact same caption. The caption is, this color analysis filter is making me realize I've been wearing all the wrong colors for my skin tone. Time for a shopping spree. And then one user claimed to have literally sold every single article of clothing that was not in line with what the filter had told her. Oh, wait. I just realized that
Jake got it.
Jake color matched us. Oh, I wish you could see it. A periwinkle looks amazing on me, hypothetically.
Okay. Let's see, because a lot of these look really good on you. The spring one I do think looks good on you. Am I being crazy? Also, you're wearing makeup in this, and I'm also wearing makeup in this. But.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not an autumn or winter.
But the summer and the spring I feel like look good.
The spring makes me look a little bit sick.
You think? Okay. I do think the summer is better than the spring.
Yeah, look at the yellow spring that they have. That doesn't look good on me at all.
You're right. Well, you look incredible.
Thank you.
Either way, but you're right. I think this. So you've always thought you were summer?
Oh yeah, I like cool toned, and summer or winter. It really depends. I think it's more summer. But when I dye my my hair dark brown,
yeah,
it doesn't look bad.
Yeah,
as long as it's cool toned. If it's warm, I look weird.
Well, the blue one. Where there's green for spring and the light blue for summer, that blue looks good on you.
Yeah, I'd say the the color that could probably be most obvious to everyone is greens. If you have a warm green versus cool green, you can tell almost right away. If you can pull off lime green, you're warm toned. If you can pull off any sort of jewel tone green, you're cool toned. Yeah.
This photo of me is also insane. So I can't.
What an interesting. I mean,
It's
sorry
from
guys.
The logo.
This is a very a visual thing that we're walking through. So we're going to describe it I'm going to describe what a warm tone green is. You know the logo for BP? Those are some warm tone greens, right? And Acer has a warm tone green, and those colors are what.
Acer. How do you spell that?
ACER. Those are the colors that Kendahl looks great in. I think you could pull off a lime green. You are pulling off a lime green.
Thank you. Oh, I see that green. Okay, that makes sense. Well, the lime green is on mine as the first one. And I think that looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, it does. Like this summer, you so the cool tone green that Kendahl is wearing. I'm trying to think of a cool tone blue for y'all. I mean, a cool tone. You look kind of. I'm not looking at all of you.
No.
I just see the fabric. Yeah. I also like the warm tone blue for you. So warm tone blue, guys.
That's the spring one?
Yes. Think of American Express. Their logo is a warm toned blue. I'm really trying to.
You're doing a great job.
Something that's universal for everyone to think. Or the Aflac logo behind the duck. It's a very warm tone blue. It's like more of an aqua.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would. It's very hard to find someone who looks good in aqua and lime green, but
Stop your search.
I think you could really pull it off.
I am. I wish they had the white one, or is that not how it works?
There is the white one. You just have to choose a different filter.
I need to find that. I need to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sarah, this is so helpful, and I do think I should get color matched.
I think you should try the filter first, just because if you're it's $100. It's a couple $100.
Yeah.
And I already feel bad because I'm the person who convinced you to get extensions. And I can't have you sit through something really long again and you feel like you wasted your money.
No, you did not convince me to get. Obviously, I took I took you into account, but I was like set on getting them.
Yeah.
And but you know what? It was one of those experiences I needed to go through to be where I am now. It was so crazy. I went from getting extensions, 22-inch.
Yeah.
That was my first mistake. I went back the next day. I'd been there for 12 hours getting extensions. I went back the next day and was like, cut all of my hair off. And they were like, well, we don't have to do that. We could. And I was like, no, cut all of my hair off. Like, I want like it short. And that's when I got my hair really short.
Yeah.
So I have no chill. My hair, but I also am someone who's always not cared about my hair. Even when I was younger, I was like, do whatever. It grows out. It grows back. So I'm always like down to try anything. But I've always wanted red hair, but I know that would look bad. So don't worry. I'm not going to do that. But I have always wanted like a really natural looking red hair, like not something that looks like dyed. I've also always really liked the idea of having lavender hair.
Oh, yeah.
Which I also think would look crazy. But I just wish my hair was naturally red, which I think so many people feel that way.
Oh, yeah. I used to have red hair for the longest time.
And you liked it?
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like a lot of, not a lot of maintenance, but it fades so fast.
Yeah.
And my hair gets so oily that I would have to wash it often.
My hair gets so oily.
But I think you could do you could pass as a natural ginger if you go like the Emma Stone route.
Yeah.
I think bright red would be jarring. But I think
No, I wouldn't want bright red. I want it to kind of look like strawberry blonde, like a little like,
yeah.
What is she? But I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. Don't
you
get scared.
could. But I also, I think it's really like funny and cool that you like sat through all of that with your hair next day. Like most people would like when they spend that amount of money, they're like, I'm going to live with it for a month. You're like, no, I'm just going to.
Listen, I'm always just like, what's been done has been done. Like I think to a certain, I think I could meet myself in the middle sometimes and give myself a little bit of a harder time.
Yeah.
But sometimes once I've made a mistake, it's like, this is already the punishment. Like I had to sit through 12 hours of getting extensions and then have a panic attack with them and send 800 photos to everyone, cried for hours, and then had to go back and spend another I spent $2,000, which is insane. So I was like, that was the punishment. I don't need to like keep punishing myself with like, you just have to sometimes move on.
Yeah.
And I learned like I'll never get extensions again. And I will never. And I also learned, I feel like when I got extensions, I was looking up a lot of videos about extensions and doing quote unquote research. But my brain was only intaking the positives people were saying. Like I wasn't really intaking when people were like, don't get extensions. I was kind of like, skip, bye.
Yeah.
And so I just learned that I need to really, before once I make a decision, I really hyper focus on it and I just like do it.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that. And I don't feel like I have any impulse control as well.
Well, I mean, I think that comes with the territory of having ADHD.
Yeah.
That's the whole, one of the pillars.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, you don't have to punish yourself, guys. Hear that? You don't have to suffer.
Yeah. Man, having ADHD is so annoying. I feel like I just read this book, Cleat Cute. Sorry to bring it up again.
No, it's fine.
They're casting for the TV show. Someone put me on it. But there was one of the main characters in it has ADHD.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, my only gripe with the book was that I was like, I think most people would be like, I love that there's some representation for people with ADHD in this book.
Yeah.
But the way she was written, I was like, this is me and she's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
She is literally me. Like everything she's doing that's irritating me is something I 100% would do.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, this is making me have a lot of self-loathing.
Oh my gosh. I understand that, but I don't. I hate when my favorite character is hated by everyone else. Okay, I watched Yellow Jackets. The one with the really curly hair.
The insane one?
Is my favorite, yeah.
She's incredible. But she's not like hated. I feel like she's not hated because people think she's annoying.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of hated because she is
screwed them all.
unwell.
Yeah.
Like she is like going to kill them almost.
Yeah.
She's your favorite character?
Yeah, because she's someone I want on my side. Yeah, she's like a little bit obsessive.
Yeah.
But she's loyal, you know?
Her best friend, spoiler alert, pushes off that cliff.
Well, yeah, but the thing is if as long as she doesn't like kill me, I don't know. I think that we could really be buds.
Who would you most want to date on that show, on the cast of the young people? That sounds weird, but you know what I mean.
I wouldn't date any of the children. Just
that
out
makes
of
sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's hard because it's one of those shows where it's like they're playing seniors in high school, but they are all actors who are like 35 years old.
Oh yeah. Wait, Yellow Jackets cast. Who would you date?
Probably Van.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would not. I actually have a full TikTok series about how much I hate older Van.
Yes.
Older Van should have been Mask, and I'm sick of people like telling me, "Oh, older Van dress Mask." I was like, the thing is it's not the outfit, it's the hair, because it's Dyson Airwrap hair. Mm-hmm. You're telling me that this person who has been masked their entire life
works at a DVD store.
Yeah, like that's so counterculture. Like, you know, refusing to acclimate to the culture is like waking up every morning to ever so slightly curl their hair. Their naturally curly hair that they had, that means that they are going the extra step of straightening it and then curling it. Yeah. I'm like, I don't believe just by every other like aspect of their identity that they would choose that hair.
Yeah.
Sorry, sue me.
Sue me. Yeah, I agree. I feel like...
Wait, also let me clarify. I am not saying by any means that Mask cannot have long hair. I am saying and I'm not saying that Mask can't have long curly hair. I'm saying the curl pattern and the way it's styled it's
very Hallmark.
Yes, it's not compatible with the Van that we all got to know and love.
Yeah, it's also hard because plot lines like that this is why I read romance novels with no conflict.
Yes.
Because I'm not interested in conflict. And I feel like the show wants us to want Van and what's her name together? I don't know. I haven't seen this show in like a year because of the strike. So it's like I just looked up the other day when season 2 is coming out. It said 2025 and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to fully rewatch this whole 2 seasons to even know what's happening. Or season 1. How many seasons? There's been 2 seasons.
There's 2, yeah.
To watch season 3, I'm going to have to rewatch the whole thing. I don't even remember any of the characters.
Yeah.
Van and I know the actor's name. Jasmine plays the younger version.
I don't. Thaisa.
Thaisa.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Thaisa and Van. It's like they want us to want them to be together, but I'm like, I don't think they should be.
I think when they were younger, they should have.
Yes, no, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at this point, first of all, Thaisa is going through it.
Yeah.
And she is already the one who hurt Van, is what it seems like in the past.
Yeah.
It seems like Van was there to commit and ready to go, and Thaisa was like, absolutely not. So it would be a lot of like Van bending again to like help her get through this insanely intense mental health crisis.
Yeah.
While she's fully cheating on her wife.
Yeah.
Who seems to be so supportive and nice.
Yeah.
She has children. It's just kind of like, this is not a good situation.
Yeah, and she's obviously not dealing. I think they all have mental issues because of the plane crash and being in the.
And having to eat their friends.
Yeah, and I don't like. Thais is like almost refusing to deal with it. Who's my favorite at this point? I am Juliette Lewis playing Natalie. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like that is like the perfect portrayal of an addict. Like that, I mean, her movements, like how rushed she's speaking, like she's like a little bit jerky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's you doing it. Sorry. I think Christina Ricci is great as the.
Yeah. That was really good casting. Yeah.
And then, who do I not?
There's Melanie Linsky. Who I'm obsessed with, and the girl who plays younger Shauna. My God, this is really going back in the deep depths of my brain. The young girl who plays Shauna, I think, is such a good actor.
It's only showing me half the cast.
Uh-oh.
Guys, 1 second. I need to Yellow Jackets cast.
I also just get so irritated. Sorry, there's a lot of Yellow Jacket spoilers going on. So if you haven't watched
Melanie Linsky, yeah.
Yeah, Melanie Linsky, and then I don't know who plays the younger version, but she's really good. But there's a lot of spoilers going on. If you haven't watched it yet, you should watch it. It's great. But I just hate when they give a lesbian cancer. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Can we not? Like,
yeah.
They already were in a plane crash where they had to eat their friends.
Yeah.
One of them is seeing things.
Yeah.
And now one of them has cancer. It's like there was enough. We don't need to give the lesbian cancer. Give one of the straight girls cancer.
Yeah.
I just at this point, like I said, this is why I'm reading these stupid lesbian novels. I'm so sick of there being sadness in queer stories. I'm like over it. Because also some people are like, I think in most film it's like, well, but things like that happen in life. And I'm like, okay, but we've seen enough of that. Every lesbian film is like the worst part of life and watching two lesbians go through it.
Yeah.
Can we just have her not have cancer? I don't get it.
No, I know, like, they already have such debilitating mental illnesses. Every single one of them has very complex PTSD. They've eaten people. They've killed people. Like, that's what I, like, kind of annoys me about, like, the lesbians are already suffering. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to add a physical. Just, you know what you could do? Just make there be some longing in there, like some yearning. You don't have to give them cancer.
Yeah, because now it felt like it was kind of like, well, we have to give her cancer so that she feels like Thaisa has to make this decision now. And I'm like, do we? Why? There's enough of a plot going on. We don't need to make Thaisa need to date her because she has cancer. I don't really understand. I really hope. And I'm like, if she dies, I'm gonna be irritated.
Oh yeah. Thaisa, what Thaisa needs is to be with her family. That's what she needs.
Yeah, man.
She needs to go to therapy. Because if you're dissociating that hard and sleepwalking and you're literally hallucinating, that's terrifying.
Also, sometimes, okay, maybe this is bad, but sometimes the way people handle issues in TV shows makes no sense. Like, did you watch Bly Manor?
Yes, I did.
You know, these are spoilers for Bly Manor. You know how it ends?
Yes.
Of course, one of the lesbians fucking dies.
They do.
If you can believe it.
Yeah.
I was like, why? So basically in Bly Manor, sorry, and I know this has nothing to do with color matching, and then we're almost done. But so in Bly Manor, one of them is like, this gets really confusing. I don't really understand, but basically she's like possessed by a woman, long story short.
Yeah.
And so it's like she kind of is losing herself, and she wakes up to her almost strangling her wife.
Yeah.
And basically the problem is that when she goes to sleep, sometimes the woman overtakes her and takes her to this lake at Bly Manor and drowns her, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Long story short.
Yeah.
Why was she not, and fire hazards be damned, why was she not tied to the bed? Like, why did they do no, like, oh, you have this issue that's going to end up killing one of us? Because in the show they keep being like, well, we only have a little bit of time because eventually you're going to walk into that lake and drown yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one thought of any solution. Like, oh, when
Yeah.
you're sleeping, let's like put you in this thing. Or like when you're sleeping, we'll like lock you in this thing with like an
Yeah.
alarm. Like feels like someone would have tried anything other than
Yeah.
just like waiting for this thing to happen.
Yeah, I think the only people who were proactive on that TV show were the lesbian that does the gardening and then the guy whose mother is dying.
Yeah, because I was like, put your heads together, idiots.
That's why they were the ones who survived.
Yeah.
Because they were problem solvers who left the house, you know?
It's insane. It is like, I was like, no one is trying to resolve this in any way. It's so,
Yeah.
they already had one woman die in
Yeah.
this stupid lake. It's also like, remove the lake.
Yeah.
Why did no one drain the lake?
Yeah.
And also put a fence around it. I don't know, try anything.
Yeah, you pave over the lake and now you got that ghost dragging you to the middle of the family parking lot. Like,
Yeah.
then you're just both sitting on top of the cement in a parking space.
There was just no efforts. I was just like, they really accepted this fate immediately. And
Yeah.
we're like, well, she even said when they get engaged, she's like, I don't know how much time we have, but I want to spend the rest of my time. They've just accepted she's dying.
Yeah.
From this sleepwalking.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't get it. Anyways,
No,
she was
yeah.
definitely a cool tone.
She was a cool tone. Oh my God, imagine color matching the bent neck lady. That's not Bly Manor, but that's...
There was so much going on in that show. I was like, she already, the au pair already was seeing her dead ex-husband.
Yeah.
But then also, that's really unrelated, right? Because the house is just also separately haunted.
Also, I want to question how strong your soul is. Because here's the thing. If a ghost who's been wandering this house looking for a child is like going to invade, like you kill me, you invade my body, but you inherit my soul, like I'm still in there a little bit, you're going to start hating men. And not really like that's like how weak was her soul that there was no back and forth, right?
No, there was none.
Like, yeah.
And even at the part where her wife comes, or her girlfriend, fiance, whatever, comes home, and she's like looking into a bathtub, and then she turns to her fiance and she's like, I think I should just give up. It's like, what is there's really no fight in her at all. She's so comfortable just dying. And I'm also like, not to not validate her feelings, but every time she sees the ghost of her ex-boyfriend, she acts like she is so shocked. And I'm like, hasn't he been following you for like 2 years?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you just look and be like, oh, there's my dead boyfriend?
And also, here's the thing. I know that she was like closeted and then like she was haunted by the fact that like she broke up with him right before he got hit by a car. But like she still loved him. If Naomi died and just appeared to me randomly sometimes, I'd be like, Naomi?
Hey!
I'd be like, I literally was just thinking about you. But yeah, so that has been this great long yes.
I'm just upset. I'm like, can we just have a lesbian couple where there's nothing so traumatic? It's not even like, you can have them break up. Anything normal, but where they're not like cancer, hit by a truck, pulled into a lake with a possessed woman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Oh, what I'm looking for in a TV show with a lesbian couple is just two lesbians who are like feral for each other. Yeah. Like a Kelso, Jackie from that 70s show sort of way where it's just a group of friends trying to, I mean, the L word is great, but I need those two lesbians who are just won't get off of each other.
And they're breaking up every 2 episodes.
No,
they're getting back together.
They're obsessed with each other. And they like wear like matching outfits all the time and they make everyone sick, but they're they're secure, you know?
Right.
Like everyone else.
Like a Chandler and a Monica.
Are they good to each other?
Well, yeah, I mean, people, it's
okay.
It hasn't aged well. Okay, I know. But there is like Ross and Rachel, they're always like have drama.
Yeah.
And Monica and Chandler get together and they just never, they're always like, they move in together, get married, start planning to have children. Like they always stay together. They're never like, should we break up?
Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Best in Show has the lesbians. But I need them to be both really into it because I think Jennifer Coolidge, her character wasn't as into it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening, everyone. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you so much, and make sure to rate and review us. If you're listening on YouTube, watching, hello, and make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and we're here every damn Wednesday.
We are. I thought you were saying we're here every day. But yeah, we are. New episodes every Wednesday, and thank you guys for joining us.
For being here.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your week.
Have a good one.